All right, let's dive in. We're about to pull back the curtain on two incredibly powerful yet opposing forces that are secretly running just about everything around us, from our gadgets to our own bodies. So, have you ever stopped to think about this? I mean, a nice, cool room and that horrible screeching sound from a microphone. They seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? One is all about comforts, the other is that awful noise we all scramble to stop. But believe it or not, the exact same principle is at the heart of both, and that principle is called feedback. So, what exactly is feedback? Well, to put it simply, it's when a system takes a little piece of its own result, its output, and sends it all the way back to the beginning to change what it does next. You can almost think of it like a system looking in a mirror to decide if it needs to make an adjustment.
Okay, this is what it looks like in its most basic form. You've got an input, it goes into some kind of system, and that creates an output. But the magic, the really crucial part, is that looping arrow. That's where some of the information from the output gets sent right back to the input. This simple little loop is the foundation for the two totally different kinds of feedback we're going to explore.
First up, let's talk about negative feedback. Now, don't let the name fool you, okay? Negative here doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It actually means to reduce or to correct. This is the force of stability, the unsung hero that's always working behind the scenes to keep things in perfect balance. So here's the core idea. Negative feedback works to fight against change. If a system's output gets too high, the feedback loop tells it, whoa, back off a bit, and it reduces the input to push that output back down toward its target. It's constantly correcting errors to stay on track.
And you see this absolutely everywhere. Your AC's thermostat, that's a classic. The room gets too hot, the AC kicks in. It hits the perfect temperature, it shuts off. Simple. Same thing when you're driving. If you're going a little too fast, you ease off the gas. Too slow, you press it down. And get this, your own body is a master of this. When you get too hot, you sweat to cool down. Too cold, you shiver to warm up. All of these are just negative feedback systems, keeping everything in balance.
So really, when you boil it all down, the goal of negative feedback is to create a world that's stable, accurate, and safe. It's the reason so many things are predictable and don't just spiral out of control. You could call it the great stabilizer.
All right, so we've met the calm, collected controller. Now let's meet its wilder sibling, positive feedback. If negative feedback is all about control, positive feedback is the amplifier. It takes a change and just runs with it, making it bigger, louder, and a whole lot faster.
And right here, the whole principle gets flipped on its head. If the output starts to go up, the feedback loop basically screams, yes, more of that, give me more. It reinforces the change, creating a runaway loop where the output just grows and grows and grows.
Remember that horrible microphone screech? That is positive feedback in action. The mic picks up a sound from the speaker, amplifies it, the speaker plays that louder sound, the mic picks that up, and on it goes in a split second until you get that piercing shriek. A more modern example? A social media post going viral. The more likes and shares it gets, the more the algorithm shows it to new people, which gets it even more likes. It's a positive feedback loop of pure popularity.
So, positive feedback is fantastic when you need really fast amplification. Think about an alarm siren that needs to get very loud very quickly. But it comes with a huge risk, instability. If you don't have some way to stop it, these systems can spiral completely out of control, which can be super dangerous, like in a runaway chemical reaction. Okay, so we've met the controller and we've met the amplifier. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put them side by side in a direct showdown so we can make their differences totally crystal clear. Just look at this breakdown. For purpose, you've got negative feedback aiming for stability, while positive feedback is all about amplification. What's the effect? Negative reduces errors, while positive increases change. This, of course, leads to high stability in negative systems and really low stability in positive ones. And the examples say it all. The calm, controlled AC thermostat versus that chaotic, out-of-control microphone screech.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in. So now I'm going to give you a super simple, really powerful way to lock this all in your brain so you never, ever get them confused again.
This is it. This is the ultimate takeaway. Just burn these keywords into your memory. Negative feedback is all about control and balance. Positive feedback is all about increase and amplify. Let's say it again. Control and balance versus increase and amplify. That is the core difference right there.
So now it's your turn. When you go out into the world, you're going to start seeing these loops everywhere. Seriously, think about it. A car's cruise control keeping you at a perfectly steady speed, or a video that just explodes overnight online.
Which feedback loop is at play? Once you know what to look for, I promise you can't unsee it.